dominion over you, and you shall love God and love your neighbor. That is biblical Christianity, not what you see on TV, not people asking for money, not these guys, these huge church buildings with all these suits. That's what you see on TV. That's not biblical, historical Christianity. I'm not saying all of them are not Christian. I'm saying you don't know a true Christian until you see their life. Anybody can profess anything. Why the McDonald's does not make me a Big Mac? Any objections? Any questions so far? I'm not going to yell at you, and please don't yell at me. Any questions or objections so far? Should I bring up another objection? As an atheist, I heard about these other books, the Gospel of Thomas, the Gospel of Mary Magdalene, the Gospel of Judas, the Gospel of all these things. And I said, oh, they voted. There was a conspiracy to make the Bible. The simplest answer to that is anybody says, what about this other book? Ask them, when was that book written? Everything in the New Testament has to be written before 100 AD. Anything after 100 AD, we throw that out. You know why? Because it has to be eyewitness testimony. In order, in the ancient days, not the super ancient, but in the Bible days, the only way for anybody to be convicted of a crime is witnesses. You gotta have two, at least two, to convict somebody to say, yes, two of us saw that you did that and you are guilty. The same goes with the New Testament. Instead of just believing Discovery Channel and believing National Geographic and all these anti-history shows, think. It has to be written before 100 or we throw it out, because anything written after 100 AD, probably not around. Those people started to die off. Those who were with Jesus, contemporaries, probably dying off by the year 100. Oh, I got something for you. What about the Gospel of Thomas? Probably the most famous Gnostic Gospel there is out there. You tell me if the Gospel of Thomas should be in the Bible. This is what the Gospel of Thomas says. Simon Peter said to them, let Mary leave us, for women are not worthy of life. Gospel of Thomas. Jesus said, I myself shall lead her in order to make her male, so that she too may become a living spirit, resembling you males. For every woman who will make herself male will enter into the kingdom of heaven. Does that sound like something that Jesus would teach? These ridiculous sayings of the Gospel of Thomas, Gospel of Judas, these things are ridiculous. All you got to do is read it. Instead of listening to what the TV tells you, do some research. Find out when was that written. What do they actually speak about? This is ridiculous. The Gospel of Thomas. Don't ever, from this day forward, when you see these ridiculous shows saying all these other books should be in the New Testament, read them for yourself and see if they make any sense whatsoever. Whatsoever. The Gospel of Thomas is not even it's not really a system of events. It's just sayings here and there. And you know what the beginning says? These are the secret sayings that the living Christ said to Thomas. Secret sayings. And if you understand these sayings, these secret sayings that were given to Thomas, then you shall find life. You don't need secret sayings. These are why these things are called Gnostic writings, Gnostic Gospels. The problem with the Gnostic Gospels, they say you can be saved not from your sin, but you have to have secret knowledge which will awaken you. And it is knowledge, that secret knowledge which gives life. Jesus said the contrary. I come to give my life as a ransom for many. And Jesus came to die because of the sins that we have committed day after day after day. I'm trying to be out here to say that Christianity is reasonable. Christianity is rooted in history. And don't just believe the scoffing that other people do. Ask your questions, but only if you really want an answer. Don't just, I'm not here to argue. I'm here to reason. I'm here to preach that Christ is the only one of all the religions out there and the belief system. That the only one that claims to have, I'll say this, that claims to have risen from the grave. Anybody can say I am the Son of God. Anybody can say I am the way, the truth, and the life. But can you back it up? The resurrection is historical. There's more proof for the resurrection of Christ than there is against it. There are Roman writers, Tacitus. There is Jewish historian Josephus. All these people point and record events that the early church did, and what they believed and what they practiced and how they were very different from the surrounding culture. And they say that they gave their life. They gave their life because they were eyewitnesses of a risen Savior. These things are not, as long as we keep these things on an idea level, none of us will change. But when we start grounding it into reality, that is when a life is changed. That is when we grab truth. That is when we can move forward in life and find the purpose and find the truth about God. My biggest problem as an atheist was this. I could not prove that God did not exist. If there's any atheists out there that can prove that God does not exist, do it, and I will go home. I will pack up my stuff and I'll go home. If you can prove that God does not exist. That's the open challenge I make every single place I go. And no one can answer that. Because no one can prove that there is no God. The atheist only hopes that there is no God. Because as an atheist, I could live the way I wanted to live. And do my best. And hopefully when I die, I hope that the Bible is not true. And I hope that I did enough good things, if there was something out there, that I did enough. And I would hope that the God of the Bible wasn't waiting for me. And I would hope that there was heaven, but I was hoping that the God of the Bible wasn't in heaven, because I didn't want to see him. That's a terrible way to live. Why don't you be honest, strive for the truth.
Nobody can hear you.
I remember you.